Patient Lounge, Catherine Marshall speaking.
Yeah, this is Jeff Weber. I'd like to speak with my wife, please. Could you call her to the phone?
She's right here, Dr. Weber. Heather, you're wanted on the phone. Hello?
Heather, it's Jeff.
What's the matter? Did something happen?
What do you mean, did something happen?
I don't know. You just sounded kind of funny.
Well, as a matter of fact, something did happen. I told you I intended to have an expert check the footprints of Stephen Lars against PJ's footprints. And I know this will come as no surprise to you at all that they checked out as one and the same.
I don't know what you mean.
Heather, you want us to just stop the games, huh?
But, Jeff, don't confuse me now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Look, I just called you to tell you that you'd better get well and get well fast, Heather. No more game playing. Too many people have been hurt already.
Jeff, don't you realize what this means to me? That we finally know where our son is, that he's right here in Port Charles. Oh, Jeff, I just knew we'd get our baby back someday. But will Diana Taylor give him up?
Well, it's not going to be easy for her. But I want my son.
He's mine, too, Jeff. I want us to be a family again. Please? I want us to all be back together again. Dr. Weber, your wife is a bit upset. Do you mind ending the conversation?
No, not at all.
Jeff, what's this all about?
So where have you been? I've got something very important to tell you.
That can wait. I want an explanation first about your behavior.
Well, that's what I want to talk to you about. Steve, I had to take those files.
Without authorization? Nobody's allowed to do that.
Please, will you please just listen to me? It has to do with Stephen Lars.
What?
Steve, I found my son. He's been right here in Port Charles all along. His name is P.J. Taylor.
What you're saying?
It's true. It's true, Steve.
Diana Taylor's little boy is really?
Yes, he is. He is. Come on, sit down. Sit down. Come on, none of this is going to be easy, believe me. I mean, you can imagine what I went through when Diana told me, huh?
Diana told you?
Yeah. I didn't believe her at first.
Are you saying that the Taylors knew all along that they had adopted your child?
No. Not at the time of the adoption, no. It was just later. Somehow Peter found out. Apparently he'd been trying to tell me right before he died. I mean, you remember all that. That's why he's trying to get me there.
But he didn't tell you that. How can you or Diana be sure that's what he wanted to say?
There was a note. Diana showed it to me. Now, it said, PJ is Stephen Lars.
Jeff, if all this is true, that means Diana's kept the truth from you all this time.
Yeah, well, she said she was afraid that I'd try to take PJ away from her. But then she got to thinking that maybe the two of us could raise the boy together because... Well, because of the night that we spent together.
Jeff, don't you realize she could be lying? If she's fallen in love with you, she maybe made this whole thing up.
Yeah, I accused her of that, Steve. Believe me, I accused her of a whole lot of things that I'm sorry for. But it's true, believe me. PJ is Stephen Lars. I have written proof. Look, I came here to get a copy of Stephen Lars' footprints. Now, Diana had given me a copy of PJ's. Steve, they match. Oh, and look. This is the report from Captain Ramsey's expert on footprints down there. Footprints.
Positive identification.
We found my son, Steve. We finally found him.
Yeah.
Come here.
Let me see if there's any news on it.
No, not until the parade is over. I want to hear the band music. I want to hear the bands.
Heather, I'm sorry if you were upset by the telephone call. I really shouldn't have let you talk to your husband again, but I thought maybe he wanted to apologize for the way he behaved when he came out here.
It's all right. I'm not upset.
Fine, but you became emotional when you were on the phone.
Well, that's because we may be able to have our son with us again. Once I know that we're all going to be a family together, you'll be surprised how quickly I can get well.
Tell me you're not through dusting for fingerprints.
Almost. When I get the frame of the store dusted, that should just about do it. Hey, who's throwing money away? Quarter lying next to the wall. Finders keepers.
Sure, have a blast with this, Stillman.
You know something, Perez? Nobody could just drop a quarter against the wall like that.
Hey, you got something. You know, it would have to roll to get in a tight spot like that.
Let's look around, see if any more money. Somebody trying to get out of here a little too fast, maybe?
Hey, what do you know? Here's a dime.
Why don't you check over by the planter, see if anything rolled over there.
Uh-oh.
What have you got?
A wallet.
Hold it, Brad. Don't touch it. Use this.
Looks like a woman's wallet.
Yep. It's a woman's name on the license.
You better take it into Captain Ramsey. I'll go check out the basement.
Hey, maybe you ought to come along in case Ramsey has some orders for us.
All right, let's go.
Now, Mrs. Parker, I've written down everything that you told me earlier today. I've shown it to you. You agreed that I've written it down correctly. So I think we've covered everything, unless there is something that you would like to add.
Nope, that's about it, Captain.
Well, I want you to know that I consider this an official statement. So if there's anything that you're uncertain of that you've told me, change it now.
Everything I said is just what I saw.
All right, excuse me. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt, Captain. We think you should take a look at this.
A wallet we found outside in the corridor.
Oh, good. Good work, man. Let's see. Mrs. Parker, I have a picture here of a man and a woman. I'd like you to take a look at it, please. Don't touch the wallet.
Well, that's her. That's the woman, all right, that I saw leaving this apartment last night.
Thank you, Mrs. Parker. Thank you for your cooperation. I I think that's about all the questioning we'll have for you now, but I may want to see you a little later, all right?
All right. Well, I'll be at home if you need me.
Now, as a possible witness in this case, I must say to you, you may not speak to anyone on the outside about anything you've seen or heard here today.
All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Wilson, you can take off. Perez, I'd like you to stick around here because I may need you a little later on.
Right, Captain.
Thank you.
I don't care what this looks like, Bert. Just don't go out and arrest him.
Come on now, cool it,
Just
Joe.
keep your hands off Ann, all right?
Joe, I've got a job to do, and you know it.
Not until you know more.
I know plenty right now.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't know why Ann Logan's billfold was found out there in the hall. You don't know why someone wrote her name in blood on the floor. You don't even know if it was her name.
I suppose the next thing you're going to tell me, oh, gee, it was a funny coincidence?
It could be, couldn't it?
Oh, come on, why don't you knock it off? That's silly.
Just keep your mitts off Ann Logan until I've had enough time to...
Now, let me tell you something. I've had it, but... Oh, wait a minute. What are we doing? We sound like two guys who hate each other's guts. I want to ask you a question. One question. I want you to answer me honestly, Joe. Would you be acting the same way if this were anyone else in the world except Ann Logan?
Probably not, no.
All right, there's your answer. Think with your head, not with your heart.
Ann had nothing to do with this, Bert.
Joe, if that's true and if you really believe it, what is the harm in my talking to her? Huh? All right, she probably marched in the parade today. Do you have any idea where she may be right now?
Bert, this is a monstrous mistake.
Believe me, I know how you feel, but you know that I must question her. Now, come on.
Is it all right if I call the hospital?
Please do. If she's not there, maybe they have some idea of where she might be.
Main desk, Mrs. Price.
Yeah, this is Joe Kelly. I wonder if Ann Logan is in the hospital.
No. Word was left with me that she's at Pop Snyder's having lunch.
Okay, thanks.
Well?
She's at Pop Snyder's.
Well, Howard.
I thought I'd better come by and check on Mrs. Grant.
Well, I guess she's still sleeping. She hasn't come out of the bedroom.
Well, I couldn't find a thing out about PJ. Are you two leaving?
Yes, we have to follow up on something. I'm leaving Perez here to see that nobody goes into the kitchen.
Don't worry, nobody wants to.
I see what you mean.
Wasn't the parade terrific? Oh, and the nurses looked wonderful, Mrs. Harmon.
Oh, weren't we super?
Why don't you join us? We got 2 extra seats.
Hey, I think we'll do that.
Twist my arm. Love it.
You know, it was really cold out there. I think I'll have a big bowl of soup.
Coming up in 1 moment.
Honey, you've been eating all morning. You ate at least a dozen hot dogs.
Don't listen to this lady. She exaggerates. Next bicentennial will be 2 dozen hot dogs.
Well, I am only going to be ready for all that marching in another 200 years. But it was a great day now, wasn't it?
Yeah. A day we will all remember, too.
And the reason it was such a success was because Ann was able to get us our capes on time.
To Ann.
Oh, to Ann. Yeah.